Wait a minute, what am I doing? Two men and a what? Two friends from film school, one who graduated, one who did, and they decided to make a podcast. Okay, this has never been done before, right? Okay. This is Matthew and Harrison's Two Men in a Movie. It's not what it sounds like.
Yeah, dude, I don't know what happened last episode. That Red 2 just got me, man.
That really got you, dude.
It got me so much that you would almost think more was going on in my life, but I'm 90% sure it's just the movie.
Oh, is Geneva back?
She was for a couple days, and now she's in Royal Oak.
What? Does she just travel now?
Temporarily, until they can figure out the manager situation at these two locations.
Maybe Geneva was gone for too long. You're just starting to feel the strain. And that's why you kept standing up and getting aggressively close to me.
No, I mean, I don't...
Like, it was a respectful distance for you. But you were getting up and slowly inching towards me.
Okay.
Being like, ah! And I'm like, oh my God, what's happening? Geneva's been gone for a month, and he's entering the lighthouse era. His lighthouse era.
It was not that bad. And I don't think that's what it was. I just think that that movie got me, man. I hated the fact that I was made to feel stupid for liking Red 1. And it's one of my least favorite things that some filmmakers do, is they'll just like antagonize the audience in a way that isn't fun. Like Hangover 3 is like, The Hangover is fun because it's The Hangover. The Hangover 2 is like, how did this happen again? And then The Hangover 3 is like, what the hell? Why are we still here? But The Hangover 3 is everyone is angry that they still have to do this, and I find it fascinating.
I'm a big fan of antagonizing the audience.
I'm not a fan of making the audience feel dumb generally, but making the audience feel dumb for having liked your thing. That's some unhealthy behavior, and you need to seek therapy.
No, that's called there's a term for that. You do it in relationships, right? That's what men do in relationships.
What are you talking
It's kind
about?
of it's the opposite of love bombing. It's the other end of it. It's the pendulum. The shitty men use in relationships to keep people hooked. It's like love bombing, then there's something else. Nagging. I was thinking of nagging. It's nagging, yeah.
No,
And it would have really paid off if they love bombed us with Red 3.
Maybe. I think negging. They're negging, and maybe this is just then the nature of my relationship is different than the nature of like what I understand other people's relationships to be. Negging is like a mutually agreed upon thing. Like negging is almost a joke. Like, okay, you can give me that face. Negging is almost a joke more than it is actual insults.
I think you're confusing busting balls with negging. Negging is when you put someone down like as like a relationship manipulation tactic. It's not. You don't both agree on it.
Okay, then yeah. I'm sure. Then I'm thinking of something
busting
else.
Balls. Thinking of busting balls with your partner.
Okay, then I don't know. Yeah,
You've never negged a girl?
No, to my knowledge, no.
Figure that's how you got Geneva. You were like mastering love bombing and negging in equal measure, like the Avatar.
No, I was just up front.
You're like, wow, it's so cool that you've accomplished so much despite being so short. And then you gave her like a bunch of poetry you wrote. And she's like, whoa! And then you said the magic words that apparently you can say to make women love you, that I keep seeing people talk about. And then that's how you did it.
No, I was just friends with her, and then up front when I wanted to not be purely friend anymore.
You didn't read a bunch of books on how to say words in certain ways to make women love you?
No, I spoke to her like she was an equal human. I treated her like an adult who could make her own decisions.
You just read a lot of books.
If she said no, I would have let it go. I would have continued our relationship as friends.
I just figured since you read a lot of books, maybe you read those books.
No.
It's like how to make women love you using special words, which is very close to like the belief of the sovereign citizen that like law is like magic, and if you just say the right words, you're free.
I actually don't know if I've ever read one of those types of books. Not in like a white knighty way. I just don't know, even at like an impressionable age. Like,
yeah, I don't think it's a white knighty thing. You really have to go out of your way to get those books, because there's books on like dating that you're going to hit first. Like, you have to be going out of your way to find, like, the special books where it's like, how the secret programming of the feminine mind.
Yeah, I've seen the game at bookstores. I've never read the game. I've seen them in the wild. I don't think I've ever like.
You've seen them on Safari.
Sure. I don't think I've ever like picked one up and read it.
I don't think I've ever seen one, except like online, like when
really?
people are talking about them. Yeah,
They're in one. I go to a lot of used bookstores, and they're in a lot of used bookstores.
yeah.
Maybe for
I mean, but like I
reasons,
used to go to, like, when I was growing up, I went to Half Price Books a lot, but I just wasn't in that section of books.
Sure.
I kind of like beeline towards like tabletop books and like fantasy books.
I went through a self-help period for a couple years.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So like
Scans.
I definitely have seen them. I don't even know if I can't even think of like even at like 19.
We should quit this podcast and become dual self-help book writers.
Yes.
And like talk on stages.
Like the minimalists.
Yeah. I want to go on stage and say things that sound really smart and make a lot of money doing it. I want to be on stage and be like, I know you guys want to kill yourself, but you have to be the lion. And then people are like, yeah, man, be manifest the lion.
Yeah, you're gonna have to spend years of like very, very small rooms, but if you can make it past those.
Well, that's why
years,
that's why we're gonna duel it, so that way you can start dragging in people at comedy shows, which are which I imagine to be sad people.
It's an entirely different audience with an entirely different expectation.
Okay, the comedians then,
who are most of them are skeptical of everything, are not going to be into.
Man, comedians are sad lots seeking meaning.
Yes, but they're also skeptical of all things that bring meaning.
That's why they're all so sad.
It's definitely
you won't open yourself up to things. You see something with meaning coming up, and you're like, I don't trust that.
Yeah. I don't know if I do that, but yeah, I've seen people do that for sure.
I would say you're probably the healthiest stand-up comedian I've ever met. I
take that as a huge compliment. I genuinely, I put effort into my mental health.
When my friend was like, I'm half of this comedian, and I said, nah, man, all comedians are sickos except my one friend. That was you.
Oh, thank you.
Speaking of sickos, I'm officially done with therapy.
Oh, okay.
Graduated. They gave me a diploma. No, they didn't. I was just tired of fucking talking to milquetoast liberal centralist. Really,
sure,
it's aggravating.
That's fair. I just started therapy again, so our paths.
Same therapist as mine?
No, but same therapist
so
I've had.
Tagging
for,
in and out.
No. Therapist I've had for
now
4
you
years.
Now you can go in and be like, I don't know. Sometimes the world just feels really heavy, and they say, why don't you trust in the system?
Nah. I actually don't really. We don't really talk about like political whatever. We talk a lot. Just like I use therapy as like a way of trying to figure out personal issues rather than like the big picture, but so I'm not sure what his thoughts on the system are.
I go to
his job.
I go to therapy to test new material.
No, I really don't. I do not. I
sit down, I pull out my notebook, and I'm like, got you for the hour.
That's not to say I have never made my therapist laugh. I have. And that does fill me a little bit with like pride, but I don't purposefully try and make him laugh. Like he's a doctor. I'm there with a medical issue. I would like him to help me with this.
And your medical issues, the set ain't working. The set ain't working.
No, that's just when I go bitch to my friends and then go back to the drawing board and write a better one.
I do have this image in my head that a lot of nights Geneva's trying to sleep, but you're standing there in the dark with a microphone, like practicing your material for her.
No, I do not do that.
You know the soy jack meme where the guy has like his hands over his ears and there's like noise in the, like it's that where she's like that and you're like
when I'm practicing material. I mean, you've seen my office. I have the disconnected mic set up just so like I can picture and feel what it feels like saying it out loud. But like it's in my office. It's very constrained to if you don't want me to babble like my set to you, then I don't.
Please, honey, I have to get up in the morning to do puzzles. Clowns are pedophiles, right?
No, she is a part of a group chat with my brother that I will send like, hey, is this idea funny or am I just in love with the wording?
You need to get a sign for your house that says like the house of jokes and riddles.
Sure.
That's like your two professions, isn't it? You're one of you does puzzles, one of you does jokes.
I guess, yeah.
So is she like out of state?
Yeah, she's in Michigan right now.
Yeah, I didn't know where that town was. You said a town. I'm like, I'm gonna come back to that later.
Yeah.
I'm going to Michigan soon. She's still gonna be there?
Yeah, she'll be there till Tuesday.
I'm gonna swing by, eat all her puzzles. She's like, finally, I got my riddles in place. I'm gonna come in and just, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, no. Why are you here? Why are you in Michigan?
No, this is hopefully the last trip for a little while because the company doesn't like paying for travel. But also, we are at a point in our lives
it's a fucking escape room company. The company probably doesn't have a travel budget, and they had to figure that out.
they have
a travel budget.
Yes, they just hate using it. Like they have like travel built into their yearly expenses. They just want to do as minimal as possible.
I guess I always viewed escape rooms as like individual enterprises built up by like lonely riddlers. Like you put an escape room in a town, right? That's like a lot of the air gone. What if there's like a lonely riddler who wants to open up an escape room? There's already
Then they go work for the escape
I'm not
room.
sure how many escape rooms you can have, like, per capita. I feel like it's low.
It depends on the size of the city for sure. Akron, you can apparently have 2. And
Yeah, that feels like a big city can have, like, 2.
Trying to think, a place like Chicago probably could hold like significantly more. A place like New York could have 1 billion of them.
I think New York is 1 per borough, but that's because like someone from like 1 doesn't want to go to the other boroughs, so you can do it locally. I feel like Chicago is max like 3. I mean, how heavy is escape room traffic?
Her escape room's busy. I'm not gonna name numbers, but they get a lot of traffic. How many escape rooms are in Chicago?
Approximately 133 escape rooms in the Chicago area, offering various themes for different events.
That's too many.
No, that makes sense.
I might not just understand scale very well.
I'm trying to think. 133. Let's say every
time I see like a business anywhere, like if I'm driving through like a town and I see a business, I'm like, how's this business open? How many people go to this business?
I have had that thought.
I had a moment where I'm like, how can there be so many gynecologists? Because I'm like, I mean, how often do you have to go, you know? But then I also realized there's like doctors who are like, I'm a foot doctor. And I'm like, I guess.
But okay, let's do that math of 133 escape rooms. Let's say an average of 4 rooms per building. That's 532 rooms. So let's say
You can divide that by the population of Chicago.
no. Oh, well, at the end, yes. But let's say on average, the average party of an escape room, I don't know, but let's say it's 4. So on any given day, on average, or actually not even any given day, on any given hour, that's 2,100 people based on the population of Chicago, which is...
That's insane.
Population of Chicago.
Chicago has a population of about 2.7 million people within city limits.
So we're looking at just under 3 million people at 2,100 people an hour. Let's say at any given escape room, you're booked for 6 of the 9 open hours. So that's about 13,000 people in any given day out of just under 3 million. That's perfectly reasonable.
What percentage of Chicago? You said a lot of numbers and my eyes glazed over.
Let's, I'll just do base 13,000 over 3 million times 100. That is 0.43 repeating percent of the population of Chicago on any given day.
That makes sense. I guess I wouldn't have said 2 million if you asked me to guess the population of Chicago, despite my constant assertion that cities should determine elections. I think the population of a city is like, I don't know, like Chicago, that's a lot, 300,000. And so if you were asking me like how many people live in Nebraska, I would say like 5. I just don't understand how many people there are.
Yeah, it's about 7 times the size of Cleveland, population-wise.
How's it compared to Boston?
Population of Boston.
Boston's population is about 673,000.
So it's about 3.5, 4 Bostons.
Okay, yeah, that scans. Because, like, Like, I like Chicago conceptually,
I want to move to Chicago.
but like I don't. It lacks an intimacy that I really love about like Cleveland and Boston. Like those are the two cities I've been to where I'm like, this is so fucking cool and great. Where like it's big, but it feels like intimate. You know, it doesn't like Chicago's just like huge, unfathomably huge. Where like there's like this intimacy to Boston and Cleveland, where even though it is like land-wise a very big area, you always feel like you're like in, you know, someone's hometown.
If I were to retire to a city, I mean, I want to live in Chicago for a little while. I want to ingratiate in the scene and like be in the arts there as much as possible. My ultimate goal is to retire in a seaside town and open a bookstore bar. That's.
I thought you were gonna say become like a fisherman.
No,
I could see you moving to like
I would love
Maine and then
Yes,
growing your beard out
that
and then
is-
like lobster fishing.
That is the end goal. Not necessarily lobster fishing. The end goal is seaside Maine, opening a bookstore bar, doing like running mics and touring, like doing little tours whenever I can. But that's the dream. That's the thing I am building towards.
Well, there's gonna be a lot more Oceanside here soon.
I know.
You love global warming. You're like, so much new places to open my bookstore bar.
Yep.
That's what you always say.
Yep.
You say, burn that coal. You're wearing your Coley shirt right now.
Oh, this blank sweatshirt.
Your Coley shirt. You bought it as soon as it went out on Trump.com.
There's a
There probably, there has to be. There has to be.
pro coal t-shirt.
You love coal.
I'm not looking for coal miner tea. You can be pro coal miner and not pro coal burning. I can't. I'm not saying they
I'm not
don't
sure.
exist.
I'm not sure you can be. I think you can be pro minor generally.
That's what I mean. You can be pro miner like as a worker.
Yeah, but
then
if you specifically say I'm pro coal miner, you know, I'd prefer they mine something less bad.
I mean, we'd all prefer that, but we all also like.
It's bad for them, you know. Most of them are children.
Yeah, we would all prefer that. Unfortunately, those kids need to work.
It will put them in the salt mines of Lake Erie.
There are no. I can't find. Coal plants.
Yeah, people love it. There's people who are really into coal as like a concept.
Does this say burn more coal? Oh, this is actually an anti-coal shirt. Oh, wait. No, it is hotter summers. No, it is. It is a pro burning more.
Yeah,
coal
people
shirt.
are.
I thought it was sarcastic, and then I read the fine print.
People are ill. This every day, just looking around, you realize the psychosis that's gripped this country more and more.
It's a white T-shirt with a clip art of coal plants on it. The caption, the graphic tee says "Hotter summers, milder winters, burn more coal." A burn more coal initiative spelled wrong on behalf of Donald Trump in China. Initiative is spelled wrong.
Yeah, of course it is. They don't know how to read.
Intuitive. Fucking look at it. Initiative is spelled wrong. Intuitive.
Intuitive, yeah. I mean, you know, literacy's gone in this country.
Damn.
We just saw a, I'm not gonna say a legal defense because it's not in court, but like a legal defense be why are we talking about how great the stock markets are? There's podcasters selling pro Epstein shirts, and there were people in Utah that had signs that said "Justice for Epstein."
I mean, what are you gonna do? Kill them, but like,
Yeah, thank you.
What are you gonna?
I didn't
do?
want to, you know,
Unless you're going to kill them, what are you gonna do?
I get a reputation as I just want to kill a bunch of people, guys. I'm glad you said it first, but yeah, I'm like, I don't know how else to fix this. I don't know how else to fix a group of people that were like, now I'm supporting pedophiles. There's too many to deprogram.
You would almost have to do both. You would almost have to have a deprogramming program
With like a really short time limit, and if it doesn't work, you just put them in the pit. You know, like 10 years ago, I also had the opinion that you could just kill a bunch of people and make the world better. But like every year, that number just keeps going up and up to the point where I'm like, damn, I think that might be too many people. Like, I'd still do it, but it's starting to approach like, ooh. I had a friend telling me about how they met this old person at a bar who said who's wearing a shirt that said "I'm a black lesbian," and then he said he went to like Philadelphia and got the shit beat out of him. He's like, "I'm just trying to show my support for women and black people. I'm a black lesbian." And I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's just an old white man wearing a shirt saying I'm black. I think if you remove that and just say I'm a lesbian who supports people of color.
Well, then you get the eye rolls and you don't get physically.
Yeah, you get the eye rolls, but you don't get like beat.
I don't know. I don't even.
If I see an old white person say I'm a lesbian or like I'm transgender and they're not, I'm like, whatever, gender stuff's a lot. There's a lot. It's amorphous often on the broader scheme. You can be whatever you want. If I see an old white man be like, I'm black, like that's a rage response.
Maybe, nah, I think if I see an old white man that has a t-shirt about I'm a black lesbian, I would have questions. The first one being, what do you mean? And then immediately, when they explain it and it's correct, I'd be like, okay. And then I would move on. My response would be defensive. It would not be rage, but I would immediately feel on the defensive.
Yeah, I don't have a defensive reaction.
Sure.
I wee, grr, and eh.
And auga.
And ooga.
Yeah. I know.
And those are like, it's got to be grr, right?
You don't have, huh?
No, I'm never surprised or confused.
Interesting.
I understand everything perfectly.
Oh, okay.
No, if I'm confused by something, either I'm like, "Wee, this is delightful. What the hell's going on?" Or "Grr, I want to hit it till it stops confusing me."
Interesting. You don't have just normal human curiosity. Okay.
Well, I do, but then if it's that it's easy. That's like a wee. I'm excited by it. Like seeing a magic trick or something like that. That joy you get at understanding. That's like my curiosity.
Sure.
But if it's confusing me in a way that's not that, it's the troglodyte smashing a cell phone because he's from the past and doesn't understand it. I don't have just like I'm curious. Either I'm delighted by the thing I don't understand, or I wish to destroy it with every ounce of being I
Maybe
have.
not curious was the wrong term, but cautious. You're not like yeah.
No, I have no caution response.
I guess. Sure. I don't know why I thought for a second you would be capable of...
I never hesitate.
Sure.
It's led to great gains in my life and great pains.
I was going to say, it probably hasn't worked out. Maybe not as much, but harder than like when
I think
it
it's been a
work
50.
out.
It's at least a 50-50.
Okay.
I think it balances out.
I think it works out. I mean, from an outsider's perspective, when it works out for you, it works out for you more often, but it doesn't work out for you harder.
And that's what gambling's about, baby. That's what it's like to play the tables, to hold those cards, to bet on those horses.
I know. I'm the euchre king.
You are the euchre king. I'm gonna lose a lot of money when you become euchre king.
Why? You're gonna bet against me?
No, I'm just gonna. We're gonna be in like environments where betting's big, and I'm gonna lose a lot of money. People don't really know much because I'm really good at controlling this one vice, but I am awful when it comes to betting.
I know.
I'm terrible at it.
You built systems around yourself where you don't you protect yourself well enough right now in the middle of nowhere, Ohio, where you don't go to Cleveland or to the Jack's Casino.
I'm always thinking about driving to the casino.
I'm aware.
It's not that far away. I could go there I could go there every night pretty
it's
easily.
Like 45 minutes away.
Yeah, that's nothing.
I know.
That's a daily commute to the casino.
I know.
And I think about it constantly. That's why I never learned to play poker, because I was terrible. I'm like, I can't.
Oh, okay.
If I learned to play,
I can teach you.
No, if I learn to play poker, like that's it, man. I'm gonna lose so much money on it.
My mom taught me how to play poker with Monopoly money when I was like way too young. But I was like, Yeah,
but as soon as I get a chance, I'm gonna start using real money. I'm always trying to get. I've been trying to get people to like play betting card games with me, but they won't even do small amounts.
I would play a quarters game with you.
Yeah,
we would gather like $20 in quarters and play for a few hours. I would do that with you. Absolutely.
That sounds good. We're gonna have to do that.
Yeah,
get more people to do it. I like.
I wouldn't play real money, but
I'm not even sure it's gambling that I like so much as I like to win.
Yeah,
I think that's my true vice. Is I really like to win, and I invent things for me to win. Sometimes I'll do something and then craft a scenario in which I have won by doing it. And then that makes me feel really good.
I'm proud of you. But I'm the one who's publicly known as the addict and who's publicly known as the self-destructive one.
Yeah, that's because you're a messy alcoholic.
Listen, I am not messy most of the time.
No one.
It's just when I'm messy, I'm really messy.
I don't have an outward like manifestation of inventing a game where by getting like the last object of something at the supermarket, I have won and triumphed over people. But like you being drunk is visual and easily identifiable, and that's something that people can see, compared to me being like I have arbitrarily created a like podium system amongst the people present in this room and created a scenario where I got the gold.
Yeah. If I started drinking again, I don't know if the screws would fall off immediately or if I would be able to hold on for a while. But I can keep my shit locked until I can't, and then everything falls apart. But like I can keep my shit locked for a while if I like when I'm lucky and I put in the effort. Also, I was talking to Joe recently, and I realized within myself that I wish I hadn't talked about sobriety and like talked about my drinking as much with people, because now I can never publicly drink again.
Yeah.
Like, if people found out that I was drinking, there would be half a dozen people who would be horrified for my safety. Which means,
curses! I, an alcoholic, have created a structural system to keep myself from drinking.
Which means if and when I start drinking again, it has to be in secret.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah, you grab the beer and I'm like, buddy, that's a beer.
which just reinforces the thought process. What if I'm not an alcoholic? What if I just had like a really, really bad time for a specific period?
No.
And it actually wasn't the alcohol, it was the way I was using it.
We were both drinking at the same time, excessive amounts. I was going through a rough period in time. I don't think I'm intrinsically an alcoholic. You were the alcoholic.
We don't know. We don't know.
I don't know.
I might be able to have. I might listen. I probably
remember when
try.
Remember when you're talking to Geneva and you're talking about the switch in your brain that turns on?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a thing that like I've ever experienced as someone who's drinking a lot. As someone who's drunk like for like a period of time was drunk like at least tipsy 24/7. I never had a switch in my brain flicking on and off.
Okay. Okay, then. Never
At no
mind.
point did a bunch of people have to be like, all right, one of us has to take care of Harrison right now.
You never had the moment you like had the second drink, your brain just went, we know where this is going.
Nah.
Okay, well, good for you.
I've had the moment where I'm on my 10th drink and I'm like, I should stop. And then I do.
See, I never have that.
Unless someone offers me shots. But that's because I'm in such a joyous mood at that point, and shots are such a celebratory thing that I'll just do them like, yeah! And then I realize I made a horrible mistake immediately.
See, I don't have that.
Yeah, that's the alcoholism.
I'm drunk, and I'm like, this is good, I want more.
Yeah, that's the alcohol.
But what if it isn't? What if
not having the point where you realize you should stop drinking and not having the point at the beginning where the switch flips?
What if
is in alcoholism?
What if I get my first off, I'm not doing it right now because I'm not in a good enough place mentally or financially to be wrong. But
what if the switch?
What if I get my shit together? What if I become a functioning member? And then what if I'm Gerard Way? What if I learn I can have the occasional cocktail later in life after I have like worked on me as a person? What if I can do that? But we won't know, and we'll never know because I have to do it in secret, and that's not healthy. That's not going to be healthy for my brain. My brain is not going to
having it been around you and when you're at the peak of your love affair with alcohol. I've known a lot. I know like some real bad alcoholics. Like I'm talking like bring vodka every day, always having a water bottle filled with vodka so you can drink it in glass. Alcoholics like that level, and none of them like found as much joy in alcohol as you did. I think the issue is that, like, at no point does it stop being joyous for you.
Until it stops being joy. No, it doesn't. Never mind. I was like, it stops being joyous when I vomit and it becomes miserable. But no, I was blacked out once.
And that is a very, I'm talking about like on a broader scale, like not like a specific moment. On the broad scale, never are you like, oh, I'm drinking all the time and this is miserable. You're joyous. You're in a field of flowers dancing with the personification of alcoholism.
See, okay. So you know how, and I this is why I haven't done hard drugs. But you know how, like,
you never reach like Russian writer levels of alcoholism where you're like, this is miserable.
Right. But you know how, okay. You know how when you have some Vicodin or whatever your prescription drug is.
What's Vicodin for?
It's a painkiller.
No,
they have it for like surgery.
I know what you're talking about.
Okay, then what's a prescription drug you enjoy?
What?
What's a prescription drug you enjoy? Okay.
What?
You know how some people... Okay, whatever.
I don't...
You know how some people...
I think we need to examine this state. What do you... I'm not sure there's a prescription drug I'm like, ooh, boy.
Oh, I've got a few. You know how some people... I've never done cocaine.
I guess the closest is when I still had some extra muscle relaxers. I appreciated that they could put me to sleep fast.
Sure.
I don't think I enjoyed it. I wasn't like, can't wait to do that again.
See, I am, let's say...
Omeprazole time.
No, see, let's say we both take a muscle relaxer.
And I actively, when I was on like prescription medications for my brain, I actively hated taking them.
Okay, so let's say we both take a muscle relaxer.
Yeah.
Okay, and we wake up the next day, and your thought process was, "That was nice.
I got a nice night's." It's not even,
I can try this again in a few months if I need it again.
It was also
my brain goes.
It wasn't the experience. It was the after effect of like, oh, I got a nice night's sleep.
Sure.
The muscle relaxer could be replaced with, I don't know, maybe a magic frog kissed me, and now I slept good. Like that's what I'm on. The sleeping.
See, okay. Let's pretend we both did. Let's pretend we both, whatever. You enjoyed the muscle relaxer. You wake up the next morning. You're like, that was refreshing. I am glad I did that. We can revisit this in a few months when I cannot sleep again. I go, that was refreshing. I'm glad I did that. Let's do it again right now.
Yeah, that's the alcoholic. That's the same thing. The same like field the alcoholism is growing from is where that's from, which is why it's nuts when you like make expressive hand gestures. And you're like, how do we know I'm like?
What if I'm not? But
Second
off, that's the reason I haven't tried hard drugs because I'm afraid because I don't know how they'll affect me, and I've seen it ruin my friends' lives.
Yeah, ruin your fucking life, dude. Because you're already such a strong alcoholic. That's without question. That
but why? Okay, but okay, okay. Let's pretend I'm an addict.
You are, yeah.
Sure. Why can I not get addicted to good thing? Why can I only get addicted to self-destructive thing? Why can I not be addicted to like the gym or stand up? I am to an extent, but like I have gotten to a point where I can go a couple days and then I jones. But like,
I don't know,
because I've had a runner's high and it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, everyone's always like, oh, working out feels. I've never, and like there's a point where like I was working out pretty consistently. I don't much anymore, and like it never was like, ooh, I feel so much better. Doing it. I've never gotten a runner's high.
I've gotten a runner's high, and I'm gonna let you know it's okay.
Yeah,
it's fine. It is not worth running to get it.
Yeah, I think I don't know.
It is not worth destroying my life over.
I think it's a certain kind of person.
And why? But so if I
you want to be you have to have like a personality that wants to be a gym person. But parentheses aesthetic.
See, my thing is, my thing is, I want to be able to channel this like bad brain into something productive. And I don't, and I first off, I don't even know if I have actual bad brain or if I was just going through a period of life.
No.
But like, if I am, I would like to know how do I channel this this like bad brain into something productive.
Like, buddy, they had to have an intervention for fucking euchre.
Nah, they just.
I'm not sure if I have I'm not sure if I have an addictive personality. Anyways, but a lot of my family won't let me play euchre anymore because I was shadow boxing it in my fucking room.
That wasn't why they didn't let me play euchre. It's because I told my brother I wish he was aborted.
Yeah, but also like the fact that you're shadow
No,
boxing.
they didn't know about that.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that is a sign that you're an addict to things.
Oh, okay. Well, that's more.
I'm really into Warhammer. I never shadow box it.
Okay, well, that's sad for you.
I play because I get no enjoyment out of that because I'm not playing Warhammer. Doesn't feed a part of me that is a little monster that lives in my heart.
I don't have a little monster that lives in my
You do,
heart.
and he loves alcohol, euchre, and prescription drugs, and that's okay. You're not your little monster, but he lives in your heart.
All I'm saying is I miss Klonopin more than most of my cousins. And I wish that I could channel this thing, whatever it is, and I want to channel it into something good and productive. And I don't know how to do. And yes, I have workaholic tendencies, but I don't get the same joy out of it. That's just like, I need to do it because I need to do it. I don't get the euphoric accomplishment from posting a podcast episode the way I got euphoric accomplishment my 5th shot of tequila.
Yeah.
Like, that's not, or my third or fourth Long Island.
I think few things in life that are euphoric are good.
Then let's find the few things that are and
Like,
let me do it over and over
I feel
again.
like most things in life that are like good accomplishments aren't like euphoric. Like that's like also like a thing with ADHD where like how you get like the same high you do from doing like a years long thing that you do from like a very small thing. Like I saw someone talking about this, and they said like they felt like about as good receiving their college degree as they would have been like eating a really good sandwich. Like the long termness of it, it's just not a high. Like the big things in life that you can work towards aren't necessarily like highs. Outside like a wedding or like buying a house, but like most good things you work towards, you're not like, whoa, yeah, you're just kind of like, that's good. I'm also saying that as a person with ADHD whose brain does that, so I may be wrong. I may be examining exclusively from the perspective I just described.
Yeah, I think you are.
I got about as much enjoyment from finally getting my college degree as I do finishing a box of Warhammer.
I mean, me too. I don't have ADHD. I just didn't care about my college degree.
Yeah, like unless it's a euphoric thing, most things that I accomplish in my life are like, it's like a really good feeling. But there's not like, whoa! It's like, yeah, okay.
See, I don't get... Obviously, my euphoria from Klonopin and Long Island's are different from my euphoria from a sandwich. But, well, at least it's the same self-destructive brain that why I'm 350 pounds. Like, it's the, like, disordered...
What if it's a really good sandwich?
It's the disordered eating. It's the brain. It's the food is love in the way that alcohol was love, in the way that, like...
Yeah, like a really good sandwich. Because I feel like most sandwiches are good, but very few sandwiches are like really good compared to other food. I feel like I've had more steaks where I'm like, this is a fantastic steak, than I've had sandwiches where I'm like, wowee.
But what I'm saying is,
Do you agree? I need some feedback on that.
Yeah. When I quit drinking, I pretty immediately went through a depressive episode and ballooned 100 pounds. And I don't think the depressive episode was because of drinking, but the ballooning the 100 pounds feels connected in a way that my brain needed a different thing to self-destruct. And I want to figure out how to channel the same thing that made me gain 100 pounds and the same thing that made me black out a lot and the same thing that made me like really like Klonopin. And probably the same thing, the reason I don't do hard drugs is like, what is a good habit that will give me a similar feeling in my brain that I can just channel that is healthy?
I think that's going to be your euchre king era. You're gonna be making a lot of dough.
I could get back into euchre.
You're gonna be
but then
making-
that's so much of my time.
You're gonna be making yourself a lot of money. You're gonna be making me a lot of money, and you'd have quite the inheritance to give to Geneva once you have your euchre-based heart attack if she didn't leave you at that point.
And like I have like I mean I've mentioned earlier I have like workaholic tendencies. But it's less like I have a standing desk at my walk pad so that I can
Okay, never mind.
so
You immediately
that-
got me back.
so that I can work like
While you're walking.
while I'm walking.
Yeah,
but
that's
that's just because like
I thought you just had a standing desk, and I was like,
it's just like when I'm on the elliptical or the walk pad or whatever we want to call it, my brain doesn't shut off in a way that like some people's does when they hard exercise. Like
yeah, no, I'm always thinking. I'm always.
yeah, and so I got the standing desk to like have my laptop so that I can.
A lot of
work
times I had to like
distract
jump
myself,
off the
but-
laptop to work on something on my phone really quick or make a bunch of notes of what I want to work on because I'm just thinking. I can't focus on just that. Now, I thought you just said you had a standing desk just like on its own, and I was about to be really upset. I don't like standing desks. I despise.
Why?
I think it's because I've done so much work where you have to stand that if I'm in an office situation where someone's standing, I'm like, what are you doing? You can sit. Because, like, it's not exact because I don't have 100 jobs, but like 99% of my work, like jobs, have been either standing or like moving. I've only had one where I can sit. It's my current job.
Sure.
Everything else I've either been walking or like I'm working outside or like I'm in a kitchen situation. So I see someone like being like, I have a nice office job, time to stand. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You don't know how lucky you have it. And you just look like a tool. Everyone else is sitting, you're standing up.
What is healthier? Getting blood flow.
And just you know what? You know, I got tons of blood. I got more blood flow at the office than I do at home, and that's because I had to walk farther to get snacky snacks. Because the break room has a big shelf of free snacky snacks. So roughly every 15 minutes, I'm getting up to go get a little some gummies or little chips, and I piss a lot, so I'm also getting up a lot for that too.
But so my hope is, see, I can never relating it back, like how I can never get addicted to exercise. I actually don't care about getting addicted to exercise. It's the fact that I can't make myself do it.
You could do nicotine.
I've thought about it.
I think if you vape, because it's healthier.
See, I don't want to. I don't want to vape. I want to smoke cigarettes.
Okay, well that's not healthy. I do it, but I don't do as much as I vape. But
I especially don't want to both.
It's mostly self-medication, really. I'm not sure I get any joy out of the act of vaping. I feel bad when vaping for me is putting chemicals into my brain to make it work better because I'm always tired, so I need focus. And it creates dopamine, which I'm deficient on as an ADHD person. And also there's a lot of research that actually say that like nicotine would be an alternative to meth-based ADHD things, but there's the stigma.
Nicotine in isolation in low doses. Yes, I have read that.
Yeah. But also in high doses.
No, in low doses in isolation. The thing is, it's very difficult to get just straight nicotine.
But like this really helps with my ADHD, I think.
The primary reason I do not smoke is that I cannot afford it. But I'm trying with this whole exercise thing now is most days I have between 6 and 7 free. So I'm hoping that I can convince my brain to go, once I let Lilia out going straight from work, like getting home, letting Lilia out, going straight to my office walk pad to work on my laptop and walk for like 25 to 30 minutes.
Nicotine would really help.
And then, thank you. I agree. And
you're worried about the cost.
And then
vaping isn't that expensive if you use the fluid.
Okay.
$20 a month, probably.
I'll think about it.
You know how much I vape? I probably spend $20 a month.
Okay, I'll think about it.
And you know how much I vape.
And I'm hoping, and then straight to shower, and then straight to them open mics. I'm hoping to be able to just build that into my schedule so that it's
what
like
if you
not
walk
a thing.
to the open mics?
That would take me hours.
That's a lot of exercise.
That would take me, by the time I would get to most of them, they would be done.
You leave earlier.
I would need to leave before work.
Yeah.
I would need to then not go to work for a specific amount of time.
Yeah. You just say time to go to my open mic and you leave. And then also, you're making money because you're walking on the clock. Welcome to the 2 Men in a Movie podcast, where each week one man shows another man a movie he can't believe the other person hasn't seen. As always, I'm your life hack coach, Matthew Olenjek, joined as always by my studious pupil and co-husband and co-host, Harrison Poole. How are you doing?
Good. I completely forgot that we didn't intro the show. This is gonna be our longest preamble probably ever.
Yeah, we're not gonna. There's gonna be a lot less movie talk than last episode.
No, we'll have just as much movie talk.
No, because I have to get to the grocery store at some point. There is a limit to how much we can do.
So to the movies. So I picked the movie this week.
I didn't hate it, but I'm not happy with it. I'm not saying I didn't even like it, but I'm not happy
Why
with
are
it.
you not happy
I thought
with it?
there'd be more sword.
There's a little bit of sword, but it is
There's a
mostly-
little. Look, when he went into the manor, I thought we were gonna have some sword.
I
He
know-
uses a gun a lot.
Yeah, because he's a hitman in Detroit.
I thought
You
the
thought it was
movie.
gonna be Forrest Whitaker with the samurai sword slaying gangsters.
I thought that from the little I looked up on this movie, the little I was told about this movie, and the name of the movie, I thought about Forrest, my good boy Forrest, playing a man named Ghost Dog, who's a hitman and kills gangsters with a sword. Yes, I thought that was going to be the movie. I thought, you know what? That sounds like it's going to be so stupid it's good. And now just so weird it's good. It's a weird fucking movie.
It's really weird.
I don't understand why there's the Frenchman.
The movie is Ghost Dog: The Way of the Samurai, 1999, written and directed by Jim Jarmusch, who is a Cuyahoga Falls boy. Fun fact. But there's the Frenchman because his best friend is a man he can't communicate with. Like, that's one, funny, but two, like, tragic. That's the nature of his isolation. That because of the nature of the samurai, and he feels so isolated from the world.
I just feel like
that his main connection to humanity is a man he can't communicate with.
I get that. I just feel like French is a wild one to grab.
It was probably any language, and the guy who got the job was a Frenchman. I feel like I haven't read the script.
If I'm like
but
in Chicago, right? Chicago. Detroit. We were just talking about Chicago. If I'm in Detroit and I run into a person who does not speak my language, I'm walking, there's a person there, right? And a little man runs up. He's like, that person does not speak your language. Which language do they speak? You know what's not going to be in my top 10? Fucking French.
I think it's just because I haven't read the script, so I don't know if maybe he was written as a Frenchman. But I'm just guessing that a Frenchman got the role. Like, is like, you speak French and that's the language you speak? Then like
most French people also speak English.
This one doesn't.
Yeah,
It's filmed in Jersey City. Anyway, then let's just pretend it's New Jersey. It's the Italian mob in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Outside of, then it's New York. Then at that point it's New York.
It's New York.
French
again.
people
If I run into a person in New York who does not speak my language, French is so far down that.
Seriously, I would just any language.
I just don't expect to run into someone in New York who only speak. If someone's like they do not speak your language and they speak another, it's not going to be French. I'm going to assume any French person I run into in New York is also going to speak English because most French people are bilingual.
Well, this guy,
and I'm also going to be like, why is there a French person just walking around in New York?
Because he owns the ice cream shop or the ice cream
That's
truck.
Why he's in New York.
Yeah, he's in Jersey running an ice cream shop, and his best friend is a man he can't communicate with.
I don't think we have we just don't have like a ton of French immigration. Especially not ones who only speak French.
I don't know, my dude. Like, what do you want from me? Do you want me to call Jim Jarmusch
and tell him to remake it with more swords? I'd be fine. I wouldn't have brought it up if he was killing people with swords. But like,
I like that he kills people.
I think I personally sure did I mislead myself?
Yes.
Yeah. But I feel like the name and the idea of the movie.
Well, the idea, the way it's
that
called,
there's a samurai hitman would lead one to assume that he's going to be using a fucking katana to kill Italians.
No.
And that's not the case.
If someone told me it's a modern day samurai movie, then I would assume he would be using modern
Not
day
a modern
weapons.
day they're telling you it's called Ghost Dog, Way of the Samurai. It's about a hitman. And he's
set in 1999.
He's like a sword on like the cover, I think. Or like that's like the first thing you see in the trailer.
Oh, because he's swinging the sword in the one
Yeah,
scene.
I assume there's going to be a lot more sword. He's a fucking samurai.
Yeah, he doesn't have a sword in the cover. He has nothing on the cover. But Nah, he just follows the way of the samurai. He just follows he tries to follow the samurai code. He tries to live as a samurai as like a gangster in Jersey.
It's wild. I guess the African American community does watch like more anime than other parts of the population.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. I assume that's how he discovered it.
It's anime and kung fu movies. It's actually kung fu. Well, his specific age, it's kung fu movies. The music, by the way, is done by RZA. Of
Where
the
do you think
Wu-Tang
that
Clan, but
comes
also
from?
who wrote and directed Man with the Iron Fist.
Where does that come from?
I can tell you exactly where that comes from.
Ooh,
Actually,
please do.
exactly. Is that there was so little general representation in mainstream white America in a specific like areas that the black community would cling to anyone that wasn't white.
Okay.
And that's why it was kung fu movies in the 70s and 80s, and it became Dragon Ball in the 90s and 2000s, and it became general anime in like the 2010s. Is that it's anything that wasn't white, and which is why like Japanese culture has diminished significance in like younger black community because they have more representation of like people who look like them to cling on to. But that's exactly it. Is literally they searched for representation in anything that wasn't white, and the biggest export were kung fu movies and samurai movies.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
No, I guess I just went into this expecting a different movie. I think I would have liked more, but I'm not saying I didn't like this movie. But I definitely would have liked it more if Forrest was out there with a fucking sword.
I think it would completely mess up the tone of this movie. I think what makes this movie really work is that it's a masterclass in fusing two genres without making either of them feel like you're sacrificing them.
Okay, but hear me out. He's Mr. Solo, right? Mm-hmm. And he does the car door bump, and then he goes swing. The guy's head's off.
Then it becomes jokey, and at no point.
No, you play completely seriously.
I don't know if you can though. The thing is, the katana is such a specific weapon.
You play it completely seriously, and that is adding to the isolation of this man.
If you can pull it off, sure.
In the hands of a good director, this is a man who gives. There's a lot of book giving in this movie. There's a man who gives books about the way of the samurai to children. His best friend he can't understand. He only communicates by pigeon,
Passenger pigeon.
And he's deadly serious about being a hitman with a katana. And then you
See,
really
I don't know if
you
that's a bridge too
truly
far.
get this outsider figure, especially if everyone takes it seriously, because they're like looking at it outside, ha ha ha, it's funny. But if you're like, I like the pizza, you're a fucking guy from New Jersey, and like a large black man is a hitman coming at you with a katana, you're not gonna be like, that's fucking silly.
No, but
You're gonna think it's gonna be like it's gonna be the Heath Ledger situation, the Heath Ledger Joker situation, where like everyone's like, I'm fucking terrified of this guy because he's insane.
But what makes Heath Ledger work? One of the things that make Heath Ledger work is that like he's so composed. Like everything else about him outside of his insanity is normal. That like if he had the ability to put on a mask, he could live among you. I think like Ghost Dog being so caught out of time, I think the katana would just be a step too far.
I don't know.
I think you need like
he has
that
a really
connection
grounding
to-
moment with that one person in the street. Where they're like, there's the really weirdly filmed one where they're like walking towards each other. It takes a while, and then they greet each other, and then they keep walking.
That is RZA.
Yeah, and it takes
Yeah.
a long
Yes.
time.
That is a thing Jim Jarmusch is famous for, is very slow, very, very methodically paced, where most other directors, it would be boring, but he just
It's
makes
such
you
an awkward
sit in
moment.
It is, but
Can you imagine walking towards your friend and you don't, from like a distance, you see each other. It's a flat, straight road, and you see each other from a distance, and you don't acknowledge each other till you're right next to each other.
They're following the code.
Oh man, were samurais just autistic?
I think they were I don't know enough, but I think they were just isolationist. But yeah, Jim Jarmusch is not like, all of his movies are incredibly slowly paced, that almost any other director, it would just be boring. And it works every time. Not every time, but most times.
Slow, methodic pacing works perfectly for a katana samurai movie.
But I think the fact that you have the gun and you have the quick bursts in otherwise
you have the
slow,
quick bursts of like the sword.
But I think a katana is a more inefficient weapon, especially when fighting
Maybe in
gangsters.
your untrained hands, but in the hands of Ghost Dog, who is trained in the way of the samurai.
But
And
I
also, he probably couldn't get a real Japanese katana, so he's using actually good steel.
But the character lives in Jersey City or like lives outside of New York. He would have access to a gun before he would get access to a sword, and he treats his gun and swings it like a sword. Like, I think that's a funnier visual gag, but says more about the character than if it were actually a sword. I think the fact that he treats his gun as an extension of himself, the way you would treat a sword, says more about him.
I'm not saying it'd be a better movie. I'm saying I would enjoy it more. I'm not even saying it'd be a worse movie. I think it'd just be a I just really like the idea of who's already this weird kind of outcast, right? Because he's a black hitman in New Jersey who studies the way of the samurai.
Who works for the mob.
I would love to see him killing people with a katana and the movie treating it seriously, him treating it seriously, and all the characters treating it seriously in universe.
I would love that. I don't know if the audience would treat it seriously. I truly think you need something to ground it into, like, that he doesn't live in a fantasy world.
He doesn't live in a fantasy world.
No, but I think that the katana...
He's a modern day assassin.
But I think
the katana's no different. Killing someone with a katana is functionally no different than stabbing someone to death with a knife. And Italians love to do that.
Okay, but we don't see any of that in this movie.
Okay, well then you just put in a scene where you see another Italian hitman knife someone, right? You put that early on. You've established blade weaponry as existing, and he has the katana.
So the plot of this movie is...
you also have him use a gun once.
Huh?
You have him using a gun
you
like
have
once.
him use a gun once.
Once or twice. Like, you show that he's not adverse to using a gun,
Sure.
but he's following the way of the samurai, so he's going to try to use the samurai's weapon. Like, it's a whole...
Sure. Basic rundown of the plot of this movie. Ghost Dog is a hitman working for the mob, who he works in secret. Most of the mob men don't know that he even exists or who he is. I think Louis is the person he communicates with by pigeon, who contracts him, and he was assigned to kill a member within the mob, and the boss's daughter was supposed to be on a bus, but she came back and she was with that mob guy. Ghost Dog kills the mob, I forget his name, let's call him Joe, kills Joe, and the boss's daughter sees it. She wasn't supposed to see it, and so because the boss's daughter saw the murder, someone saw it go down, and so they have to eliminate Ghost Dog to eliminate evidence that even though they wanted Joe to be killed, that because it didn't go exactly according to plan, and that the boss's daughter was also in a little bit of danger, that Ghost Dog must be eliminated because the hit did not go perfectly.
Snap that directly into the microphone.
And so the movie is the mob versus Ghost Dog, but more specifically Louis versus Ghost Dog, where Ghost Dog is Louis' retainer. He protects him and he works for him because Louis saved Ghost Dog when he was beat up as a young kid, and then a couple years later came back as I owe you my life. I give you my life. I will do your bidding, and that's how he became a hitman. And now it's the mob / Louis versus Ghost Dog. And that's the plot of this movie. Really simple, but really well executed. Now we watch this movie. Now we can get into just like talking. So outside of the use of the katana, do you have any other like...
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Uh-huh.
Which is the majority of my critical opinion of this movie. There's that, the Frenchman. We're like, why is there a Frenchman? And also just the not even really Christian, just thought like, wow, there's a lot of book trading in this movie.
Okay. Do you have anything? Okay. this movie is made very interesting. Jim Jarmusch has a very distinct visual style and a very distinct storytelling style. In that this movie specifically, it's a lot of crossfading and dissolving, and very, very, very
Sometimes
slow.
just when he's like shooting a gun.
Yeah,
It's like, what do you?
The thing.
Why is there a blur effect?
He breaks a lot of storytelling rules. Like the idea is most of the time you want to get in and out of a scene as quick as possible, and he lingers at the end. He lingers and then he dissolves.
I think I would have stronger opinions on it if I saw like a different movie he made, maybe. But like this movie's already so weird.
What's weird?
It's not like weird, like, oh, what a weirdo movie. But first of all, it's Forrest.
It's Forrest Whitaker, yes.
I don't think I've seen another movie where he's young.
Okay.
So it's young Forrest being a samurai hitman who communicates only via homing pigeon. And his best friend is a Frenchman who doesn't speak English, who runs like a stand.
An ice cream shop. An ice cream truck. That doesn't move, but is an ice cream truck.
Yeah.
I think the fact that the movie takes it seriously, but the movie also acknowledges how ridiculous it is sometimes.
It reminded me a bit of I hate whoever these are named after, because I always want to say Syracuse, but it's not Syracuse. Sandoki.
Okay. What?
Sandoki, New York.
Synecdoche.
I always want to say Syracuse. Where they're it's not to that level, but they're just like strange things, and the movie doesn't treat them as strange.
But the characters within the movie do, except the ones who are in it. Like when Louis is explaining the ghost dog situation to the bosses, when he has to explain everything that goes on, and they're confused and shocked, and Louis doesn't seem that surprised by it because he's just used to it at this point.
Yeah, I just assume that's like an Italian thing.
What?
They're not very accepting of others, so like they barely consider, like, was it Sicily to be part of their country? Was it Naples?
It's just, I know a lot of Sicilian people who consider themselves Sicilian over Italian.
But there's definitely a part of Italian. There's definitely a part of Italy that like other Italians don't super consider to be part of Italy.
Sure.
They're like really racist against them.
I don't know. But
we'll find out. I'm going to message Mel. I'm going to say, what part of Italy do you not consider to be Italy?
But the mob bosses understand it's ridiculous. But Louis doesn't, because Louis just lived in this world for so long. And the French, oh my God, I forget the French guy's name. I feel, oh my gosh, give me 2 seconds.
Isn't it like Jacques?
Raymond. But like even Raymond doesn't think it's weird, but Perline thinks it's weird because Perline isn't used to this yet. And Perline is like asking questions like, your best friend is a man you don't speak the language of, and like you walk around and don't talk to people, but you carry around a briefcase. And
what if that briefcase had a sword in it?
It wouldn't. You couldn't.
Long briefcase.
It would have to be longer than a guitar case.
Yeah, long briefcase.
Well, then it becomes silly. No, then it becomes silly.
No, you played straight.
No, it still is silly. You cannot have a comically long briefcase and take it seriously. If someone...
Okay, maybe just a case then.
If I saw someone walking down the street...
with like a long, thin case, you'd be like, ha ha ha!
I would...
No, you just think, oh, that's a weird case. And you'd move on with your life. You'd think it's some sort of instrument, or maybe, I don't know. You wouldn't think it's comical. Oh, we got a very...
very quick answer.
Very quick response. Sicily. Because I said, which part of Italy is the part that isn't Italy because racism? 1 minute later.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends where you're at in the country whose racism we're talking about, but probably Sicily.
But I don't know where we were going.
See, I'm not going to explain if she asks why I'm asking, and then she's going to listen to the episode, and she's going to be like, oh, interactive ARG experience.
So
just like Cloverfield.
So Ghost Dog. Forrest Whitaker nails it in this movie.
Yeah, I know. He's really good.
Oh, also RZA is also a samurai in this movie.
Yeah.
So they are following he's samurai and camouflage. So
Do you think he uses a sword?
hopefully, maybe. But this is also RZA's first movie where he's not playing RZA. So without Ghost Dog, we wouldn't get Man with the Iron Fist. And I don't want to live in that world. But also, like Man with the Iron Fist, like...
And think about it. He walks into the mob boss's room, right?
Uh-huh.
The mob boss stands up, this whole thing where he's accepting of the death.
Uh-huh.
Then just one cut, he's down.
It's
It's like a scene out of a samurai movie.
But it's in that moment, it was the gangster movie.
Yeah, it's the gangster movie. But there's like the samurai on top of it.
Okay.
Because of Ghost Dog's involvement.
But like Man with the Iron Fist, this movie on paper is ridiculous. Man with the Iron Fist is an entirely different tone. Also a worse movie. This is a masterpiece. I genuinely think Ghost Dog is like, if not a 10 out of 10, a 9 out of 10 masterpiece. I love this movie.
I think that to be a 10 out of 10, you need the fucking sword.
I don't. And you don't. It's fine. The movie works. The movie works very well without the sword.
It does, but it's it's missing something.
No, it's not. This movie is missing nothing.
I'm just a bit I was expecting a different movie. It's still good. Still give it a watch. Still a great movie. But I think for the rest of my life, I'm going to be thinking about the what if.
I'm not, because I love the movie we got. And I'm happy with the movie we got. And I think that if he had the sword, that's a line too far.
I don't think it is.
And I also think him treating the gun like the sword says more about the character than if you actually gave him a sword.
Yeah, it's saying he wants a sword. He wishes he was holding one.
No, it's saying that he treats his gun as an extension of himself in the way that he would treat a sword, that he treats his gun as his weapon of choice because of the situation he's in, but that he treats it the same way that a samurai treats a sword. And I think that is more interesting. It is more interesting to not have a one-to-one, but to have him have something different and treat it the same, because it says more about what the character's mindset is. And it's not, I want a sword. It's, this is my sword. Like, this weapon is a part of me. It is an extension of my arm. This bullet is an extension of me. And the fact that he is able to shoot Louis in the shoulder in the same spot twice proves that he is precise with the gun the way you can be more precise with the sword, that he is just as trained and skilled because he treats them the same. That the gun is the sword. And I think having it 1-to-1 is more boring. It is more boring to the character and the story than it is to have the interesting choice of him to not have it and to treat it as such.
Nah, I think it'd be a little, I don't know, just be a little zest. Like lemon zest.
This movie doesn't need it. This movie is zesty enough. This movie is a samurai movie paced with a samurai protagonist set in a gangster movie paced like a weird art house kung fu movie with the music of Wu-Tang and RZA.
I just think the sword would add like what's it called when you have like a backing flavor?
I don't know,
in
dude.
Like culinary.
I don't know.
You could
aftertaste?
No, it's something related to like when it cuts through. When you have something that cuts through, you add something to like cut through the other flavors. It's like that. It'd be like that.
I think that's a step too far, and I think that says something less interesting about the character. I think giving him a sword would make Forrest Whitaker slightly more boring.
I think that if we lived in a world where there was a sword, you'd like the movie just as much.
I
think if
so.
we never had a version without the sword, you'd be just as a fan as the movie. And then if I said gun, you would be like, no, that wouldn't be as good.
I don't think so. I think giving him the sword, giving him the weapon of the samurai, it doesn't say anything other than he's a man out of time. It doesn't like add the additional layer of not only is he a man out of time, he is a man out of time willing to work within the time. Like, he is a man forced to be in this time, but he acts outside of it and treats himself and his weaponry as if it's outside of it. I think giving him out of time weaponry, well, then the shootout just becomes like ridiculous. I don't think you can do the shootout and not have it turn into kung fu gory. Like, I don't think you can have the shootout and have it be treated with the same level of like precision and not emptiness, but like cold-hearted, like fact that
I think you could. I'm not saying I could. I think a good director could.
Okay.
I think I understand your concerns about the sword. I think that a good director would easily be able to overcome them and produce the same quality, if not better, movie. Probably just the same quality.
Okay. I would be interested in seeing like an alternate cut of this movie with the sword.
Yeah.
But I do even just to compare, but I do think the gun is the more interesting choice. I think giving him the weapon of the time but having him treat it of the weapon as the sword is a more interesting story choice, but also a more interesting character choice on Forrest Whitaker's part.
I mean, samurai also used guns.
Sure, but they didn't use like silencer fucking like Hitman Glocks. Like,
But they used like guns.
sure.
They could use like a silenced revolver.
Well, it's
It's like how in Dracula you could put a samurai and it'd be like appropriate.
I am sure that I'm willing to see an alternate cut of this movie. I don't know. I just think it's more interesting. That
I'll hop in motion. I'll hop in After Effects real quick and I'll mock one up.
Thank you. Go for it. But Forrest Whitaker nails it. I'm blanking on literally every other actor's name. Everyone in this movie kills it. I don't think there's a single weak link. The mob boss specifically toes the line between like just the way his like facial expression is and the way he reacts, like toes the line between cartoony and real in a way that like not a lot of the other characters do, but I also think he lands real more often than not. Also, I think the use of cartoon as a storytelling mechanism within this movie is like a really interesting choice. That what is happening within the cartoons is not like one-to-one necessarily what's happening in the real world, but it is in many ways that like emotionally and like metaphorically it is exactly what is happening within like over the course of the movie. Like I'm pretty sure I haven't tried this. I'm fairly certain you could almost cut the cartoons, like just watch the cartoons and have a basic idea of the rundown of this movie, or at least like a basic idea of the emotional rundown of this movie. And I think using cartoons specifically in a story that could have been cartoony but is so based in like emotional reality is a fascinating choice. And I would like to know like, how did you land on that? Because you
probably the same way you landed on the fucking Frenchman. I think it's just a different thought process going on there than what we would ever have. This movie truly feels, I don't know how, I can't conceive how he got to like all the pieces together.
I can conceive how he came up with the premise.
The easy premise, but then everything else in it.
I could not specifically a Frenchman. I could conceive.
Like I can conceive that there is a thought process. I could not tell you how it works. I do not know how.
I couldn't tell you specifically why Frenchman. I could tell you why that character exists.
Yeah.
I can't even really tell you.
Like I can
is
tell.
It just a
I
thing
can tell
we don't
you
know
why
that Italians love cartoons. Like, is it just like a cultural thing we're unaware of? Like, ask. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I assumed I was gonna before you told me to, so I'm doing it.
Cartoons a big part of Italian culture. I don't actually want to. No, don't.
Part of Italian.
But I think it's interesting that all of the it's these adults like watching cartoons that it's this child, what we see as like a childish storytelling method being watched by these grown adults. I want to know if that's saying like what exactly he's saying with that.
Yeah, because it's the Italians. Like I could understand again, like the African American. Because there's like a love of that, of animation that the white man is uncultured, does not appreciate. You never see a white man say animation isn't a valid form of entertainment.
What? I see a lot of white men saying.
Sorry, you never see that I say it is a valid form of entertainment. But you see
it is
Del Toro. You know, he's Hispanic. He's the one that comes out and says it is just as valid a form.
You
know who else is open to it?
what?
The French.
Nice.
The the guys that made Claire Obscure, that video game I was never shutting up about, just got like the equivalent of like knighthood from the French government because they're like it's an important form of art.
My film take is if in your top.
Okay, Mel said not more so than here. Really, they've got their icons like anyone else.
Okay.
Okay,
thank you. thank you, Mel. So it was a.
This will make sense when you're listening.
It was a decision. It was a storytelling method chosen specifically by.
He
Jim
wanted
Jarmusch.
some form of art form. I can understand why he wanted some sort of art form to be reflecting what's happening.
Yes.
I cannot tell you how he got the cartoons.
Also, I would have to look it up. I think all of the cartoons are from the same era. That it's.
I can tell you why that is.
Why?
Probably public domain.
Or it's cheaper, sure.
Yeah.
But no, it would be too young to be public domain. But it would.
I guess, yeah.
It would
because they have sound. Yeah.
It would still be new. But even it's like completely out of time. Like in the way Ghost Dog is out of time, these cartoons are out of time. A lot of this movie is like
what Italian quiz are you in?
Anachronistic.
Hang on, she said, "What Italian quiz are you in?" I'm saying I'm applying for citizenship.
What was I talking about? The cartoons. It's anachronistic.
No. I'm taking a quiz. I'm taking a quiz somewhere where two of the questions are, do we like cartoons? And who are we racist towards?
Oh, my film take is, and it doesn't specifically have to be Hayao Miyazaki, but if in your top 15, if in your top 20 directors is not a primarily animation director, I don't really take your list seriously because it just tells me you don't like see the medium as valid as live action.
I mean, I would apply that to like if I asked you your top 20 pieces of media, if there's not a video game, I don't think I would take your opinion correctly. I'm expecting a movie, a song, a book,
yes,
and like a video game.
Yeah, well, almost certainly. Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 2 is probably up there. Pokemon as a franchise would be up there, but that would just be as a franchise. But as specifically video game, Kingdom Hearts 2 is probably up there.
And it's better if at least one of these you get into heated debates about. Being like Danger Days is the best My Chemical Romance, BioShock Infinite's the best BioShock. Thank you. We're akin to many things, but I've gotten to shouting matches where I'm like, it's the best one,
dude.
And you know what isn't the
I was at
worst
DLC? What?
Burial at Sea is a fucking character assassination.
Yep.
I fucking hate Burial at Sea.
I almost got into an argument with Harry that he thinks Infinite's the worst one, and I'm like, it's the best. It's the best one. But we didn't. It was.
If
fine.
I had to say the worst one, I would
away respectfully.
I would say the first one because they're all great, but that was like when they're figuring it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think any of them are bad by any stretch.
But the fact that Hayao Miyazaki is not truly considered in the canon to most people, when if you watch his filmography, it is mostly masterpieces, and they say just as much about human emotion.
I think he might be one of my
and
favorite
the childhood
directors as a
experience.
person too.
The way, yeah.
I get that tired man. I get a tired man telling a cat, I'm so jealous you don't get to work. Let me smoke 50 more cigarettes. I understand this, man.
Totoro says more about what it feels like to be a child in a way that most live action kids movies do.
I just like how you. Okay. The kid that you were talking about kids movies makes sense, but I thought you were just like compared to like Gone with the Wind or something. I'm like, you went Totoro. I understand, but Totoro's the wild pick. I think
Totoro says more of what it feels like to have like childlike emotions, and says more about like what it feels like to be a child and the weird confusion and isolation, but also the deep love and curiosity.
What's your favorite Miyazaki?
Princess Mononoke. It's in my top 10. I've seen it. I saw it last year in 4K in theaters.
I'm gonna say
I love it. Yeah,
Porco Rosso.
solid.
Porco Rosso.
I love Porco Rosso.
I think that's my favorite. Miyazaki director.
I'd rather be a pig than a fascist.
fucking. It's just a good.
It's a good movie. It's a good ass movie. When your worst movie is Kiki's Delivery Service and it's still like a 7.5, just on pure vibes, you've mastered the art form. You deserve to be talked about in the canon the way that like a fucking Kubrick is, or a way that like Hitchcock or Tarantino or Scorsese. Like, you deserve to stand amongst these men.
Yeah.
But anyway, we've gone way off track. This movie rules. I think everything about it works. I've seen it 3 times. So I first heard of this movie because I was making a Christmas list because my dad asked me to, and I had like a Criterion movie because they were doing the 50% off sale, and then my dad looked through the Criterion collection and was like, "You're gonna like Ghost Dog too." Like, it was truly just, he added it and he's like, "You watch this," and he's only done that like a couple times in my life, but every time it's been a banger.
That's
like
every movie my mom's ever made me watch has been an absolute fucking banger. She's the one that made me watch every piece pretty much until recently.
Mm-hmm.
But like growing up, pretty, but like she was the one that's like listened to My Chemical Romance. She's the one that's like watched Miyazaki films. Like, these are interests I get from my mother. I didn't have much rebellion in my childhood through me. A lot of people use media to like rebel against their parents.
Sure.
And I didn't have that because my mom, I don't think I bought a single My Chemical Romance CD, because I remember she came home once and Danger Days was in her purse, and I was like, I'm gonna copy this really quick, and she said okay, so I copied it, and that's like how I first listened to Danger Days. Was that she was like, she called to be like, hey, I'm gonna be late. I probably texted, and was like, I'm stopping by the mall, and it was to pick up like Danger Days because she knew it was releasing.
My dad and I have different tastes, obviously, because we're 2 different people, but when there's overlap, he knows my taste well enough to know exactly where the overlap is going to be.
I do think that the only difference of taste we have now is that she's really into like more like hippie music, where I like either like a heavy bass or a heavy guitar.
Sure.
But there is the thing where it's like in high school, I'm like, we should go see Mad Max Fury Road, and she's like, I don't want to see it. I'm like, you're gonna love it, and she did love it. And recently, I was like, you have to go. Like, I'm like, we're going to see fucking Godzilla minus one.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna love it, and she did. And it's the same thing with Everything Everywhere All at Once. I'm like, no, this is your movie. I don't think we've ever seen a movie together and one of us is like, I didn't like that.
My dad and I have seen movies together where I have liked it more than he did, or he's liked it more than, like, significantly more than I did. I don't know if we've ever entirely disagreed, but it's like a couple times in life. When I was a kid, it was like Ender's Game. He like literally picked up Ender's Game from the bookshelf, handed it to me, and was like, you're gonna read this. Like, you're gonna love this. This is gonna shape who you are. And it did. And he's done that a couple times in life, let's say half a dozen times. And so he knows how to use it sparingly. And so I know every time he does, like, to get incredibly pumped. And so he did, and I watched it. And I really liked it the first time. I wasn't like in love with it, but I really liked it the first time. And then I watched it a second time and fell in love with it. And then I watched it this time and I'm like, this might be in my top like 30 movies ever. I genuinely think this is a masterpiece. I love this. I'm so happy he had me watch this movie. I'm so happy that I got to share it with you. I love this so much, and I hope there's a handful of movies that I hope everyone watches.
I griped on it a bunch. It's really good. You should watch it. I really, really like this movie. I'm just, the whole time, it's just my own personal desire to see him have his sword, because I went into this movie expecting him to have his sword. It's not necessarily that like I was disappointed, but that just there's that expectation that wasn't met.
Sure.
And it's not like it didn't lessen the movie, but the whole time, my heart is like, where's the sword?
I do think he didn't warn me about this, but going in, this is a very slow movie. But it is very purposefully slow, but it is very like purposefully everything is there. Like, it is as stretched out as it is for a reason. I talk a lot about how you can cut 15 minutes out of this movie. You could cut 30 minutes out of this movie just by cutting dead space, and it's a worse movie. Like, you would just screw up all of his pacing. And so I think, like, the fact that he was able that this is still under 2 hours, but the fact that he was able to, like, stretch what should have been an 85-minute story into 2 hours and it still feel like you're on the edge of your seat the entire time, and it still feels like, it doesn't feel like it flies by, but it feels like it moves purposefully, is quite the accomplishment.
Oh yeah.
All right. I mean, I guess we've been recording. You got to get to the grocery store. So do you want to do socials?
I gotta get my snackies. Yeah, I can do socials. If you want to send us your edited version where he uses the sword, you can do that by emailing it to us, or more likely uploading it to Google Drive and emailing us a link. But the conceit's the same. 2menmoviepodcast@gmail.com. If you want to see if someone sends out, we'll put it up reel by reel. We'll put up like 300 reels, but if you watch them all, you'll see the edited version. That will be on our Instagram, 2menmoviepodcast on Instagram. If you want to see, I'm going to see Phantom on Saturday, and I will be live streaming my death once they drop the chandelier on me. We got the chandelier seats that you sit in and die because they drop the chandelier on you.
Well, this comes out afterwards, so unfortunately, R.I.P. Matthew.
Yeah, I'm dead, but it's a great honor. Every person in the theater world knows my name. It's a great honor to be crushed by the chandelier. I will be live streaming. I will finally be making my ethical snuff film and live streaming it on my Instagram, which will stay up, right? You can stream it so it stays up.
Well, you'll figure it out.
Yeah, I'll figger it out. I'll have someone to see next to me film it and post it. So you'll be able to see my ethical snuff film of me being crushed by the famous chandelier on Midwest_Magician. And if you want to see the In Memoriam video Harrison makes, 2 Minute and a Movie podcast on YouTube. I don't know how you upload it. I don't know if he has the login information.
Yeah, send me the login information before Valentine's Day. You can find me on Instagram and Threads at harrisonpool.com. That's HARRISONPOOLEDOTCOM, harrisonpool.com.
These Zionists really slimmed down our social segment.
Really? And you can find me on Letterboxd at HDPOOLE124, where I think this time I gave this movie 5 stars. The first time I gave it 4. The second time I gave it 4.5. I think I am officially willing to admit this is one of my favorite movies. This is in the pantheon of what I think, like, if I were to define, this also sits in like that like kind of movie. You've shown me a couple and I've sent a couple that would have been fundamental to my personality had I seen it as a teenager, but because I am in my mid-20s and my personality is like formed,
Have you thought about
it's just a thing I deeply love.
getting some temporary amnesia than watching it?
20s. I've thought about it. But yeah, follow me on Letterboxd. Thank you so much to Tristan Hostetter for our theme music. Thank you guys for listening. I know you're going to be dead by on Valentine's Day, but on the off chance that you are alive, tune in next week. If not for the In Memoriam post, what movie will we be watching?
Ooh. The biggest loss of the new phone was I lost my entire list of movies. Is there any movies up there you haven't seen?
I've not seen The Phoenician Scheme.
Well, we'll do The Phoenician Scheme. But
tune in next week for The Phoenician Scheme.
I think I'll do The Phoenician Scheme, yeah.
Anyway, tune in next week for The Phoenician Scheme. Thank you guys so much for listening. So long.
Oh, hang on before we go. CNN headline, or it's an opinion, I suppose. Should women be allowed to breastfeed on the battlefield?
What? There shouldn't be babies on the battlefield. No.
They
shouldn't be allowed to breastfeed on the battlefield because there shouldn't be babies on the battlefield.
Baby soldiers.
I'm fine with women breastfeeding generally in life in
But
public.
if she's on the battlefield, who's taking care of the kid?
Literally, though. And not in a, like, women need to take care of. Literally, who is taking care of the kid? That's all I care about. I don't care if the dad's taking care of the kid or what's going on, but if first off, if you're a new mother, if you're a mother and you're breastfeeding, your kid is relatively young, like within a couple years.
Yeah, I know what you're about to say.
Yeah?
What's the best way to beat postpartum depression? Like, what's better than killing people? Killing brown people overseas.
So long and good night.
Hugs and kisses.
This is Matthew and Harrison's 2 Men in a Movie. not, but it sounds like it.